We're in focus. Hi, everybody.
Hello. So today's video, we're going to be doing, I guess, technically a product review.
Yeah, so we've had it in the bus since we got the bus. It came with the bus. The EcoFlow 2.
The Delta Wave 2 or something.
Yeah,
it's
like
the portable AC unit that they have.
We'll have it up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a portable AC unit. They advertise it for like people who are camping, or if you're outside, if you're in tents. Yeah, if you're in your vehicle, they advertise it as like a vehicle AC.
So you don't technically have to have your vehicle AC running if you're camping in it or something like that. So
yeah, and it is pretty expensive.
Yeah. Again, it came with the bus, but I believe it's a couple $100 at least.
It's like $400 or $500. Yeah, it's like between $400 to $600. Again, we'll have the information here.
Yeah.
But we just could not recommend it to anybody living this lifestyle. Number one, based off of the price for me, because if you're living this lifestyle, everything you buy has to have a purpose, or has to, fulfill what you need it to fulfill it, and you can't have multiples of it. So it's not like you have this and you're running your car AC, or this and you have a window unit. It takes up a lot of space.
Yeah,
it
does.
Is super heavy.
It's heavy. It's probably almost 40 pounds at least. So, and again, when it's even heavier when it's full of water. So when you're in a place that has a lot of humidity, so it's a pain. It leaks all the time. Like,
so it leaks out at the front, even though there's a drain pipe on the back, and it's
a whole
level.
Drain tube that goes out the back.
And it's level. We have it level right now, but it'll still leak like out of the sides. And because of the way the device is built, it's built on top of like a battery bank. It's like a pretty substantial, like 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank or something like that. But leaking onto the battery bank, because the battery bank is separate from the unit, it's just connected to the bottom.
It can be taken off and put back on. Or,
yeah, it's just one of those.
Because you can get the unit without the battery bank, right?
Yeah, I believe you can get them separate. Ours came with it. It'll run on the battery bank for a few hours if you're being conservative, like in the mid 70s.
You do eco mode and everything, it'll probably run for like 3 hours on a full battery.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 if you're lucky.
Yeah, and at night, the unit is great. When there's no sun outside and you're trying to sleep, it'll make your, like we have like between, 65 and 75 square foot bus. It'll definitely cool the bus at nighttime, which is great. It's an awesome thing to have.
Yeah, it's awesome at night. I mean, we get cold in here for the most part. And I mean, we're in Alabama at the moment, so it's really humid here. It's hot right now. It's 80 something degrees. But again, it only works at night.
Well, we'll get there. So at night, it's a great thing. It does take up a lot of space. We had to buy special window mounting bracket to be able to run the pipes. Otherwise,
which weren't cheap either. They're like $150 for
the brackets.
For the brackets, it's just plastic,
Yeah, it's like handmade, 3D printed. It's great, a great item on Etsy if you have the unit and you need a way to, run it out your windows, because these tubes are kind of big, they're kind of clunky. It's obviously it needs ventilation. You have to have the tubes plugged into it if you're running the unit inside. You cannot not have the tubes on it. If you don't have the ventilation tubes, it'll turn off. We tried it before. We separated the cab from the back and unplugged the tubes, thinking it was just going to pull all the hot air out of the front of the bus. Unfortunately, it just shuts itself off fairly quickly. But like Veda had previously mentioned, it does not work during the day. If it is a hot day, it's not going to cool your rig. It blows out air at like 47 degrees, and it'll cool the space like 1 foot in front of the unit, but it's not cooling the bus.
It does not have the capacity to fully cool down the bus.
So we don't have the capacity.
Until there's no sun, the sun's just making it really hot outside, so
yeah, and it's,
I don't know,
it's tough because when you need it the most,
It's during the day. Yeah. We're not going to use an AC at night, which we do now, obviously, because we're plugged in and everything. So
it's convenient when you're plugged in. Yeah. But if you don't have access to the grid.
But even during the day, it still doesn't work when you're plugged in. We were at the RV park for a little bit, remember? And we tried to run it in New Mexico. and it was like 95 that day, and it would not cool down the bus at all.
Well,
We
yeah.
eventually just turned it off.
Yeah, we gave up on it because regular ventilation with your windows open and like our air fan running, that was working way better to keep the bus at a reasonable temperature. Yeah, it's not cooling the bus,
Yeah.
but it's at a reasonable temperature for us to, you know, operate throughout our day.
And we have airflow. That's the main key there, you know?
So it does not work during the day when you need it most. It's very inconvenient, very clunky. It has a pretty significant setup time. If you're thinking about it, it does pull quite a bit of power. So the battery will last between, I think it's like 3.5 to 5 hours, depending on how you're running it. Right now it's plugged in. Typically, if you have it plugged in, it's pulling anywhere between 400 to 600 watts.
Yeah.
So if it does die, because it will die, it's going to be pulling a lot. If you want to be comfortable just at night, you know, we could recommend it.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, oh, I have to sleep in the cold, you know, I don't care about during the day, I'm not in my rig during the day, like, then yeah, you know, it could be something that you can use. You know, if you're hooked up to a grid or something, it is pulling quite a bit of power. So if you don't have, you know, more than 1,000 watts coming in, it is a tough run during the day. If you're not plugged in, it's a really tough run during the day because
so we don't even use it if we're not plugged in.
Yeah,
There's just no point, you know?
And it just gets in the way. Like,
yeah. Again, it's so big and bulky. We'll show you guys, or I mean, you can look
we
online.
can put the
and
measurements
see.
up here as well.
It's just really big and bulky, and again, like we said, heavy, and the tubes are huge, so everything just gets in the way. The whole thing is just always in the way. And again, we're living in a small space, so we want something the most out of our way as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you definitely don't want something that you have to store and pull out and store and pull out. And then, because when we first got it, the leaking was insane.
It was all the time. Like, regardless of if we were using it or not, we could have it over there in storage, and again, we could be in a level spot and it's still leaking everywhere. We would keep a towel underneath it at all times.
Yeah, it was super sketchy because you go to move it and you think it's empty and then water spills out of all of it and you're like, okay. Or if your drain plug, because the drain plug connection is not that strong, it'll come unplugged. Like, we have 2 little dogs, and if they bump into it, it'll unplug it. And if we're running it when we're not in the bus, it's to keep the dogs cool. And if they unplug it, we'll come in and there's just, the floor is all wet.
Yeah.
Luckily, we keep it on the front half of the rig where it doesn't really matter if the floor gets wet because it's easy to dry. It's the rubber, like the original bus flooring. So it doesn't really matter. It's easy to dry. But if it was like your first experience and you have brand new floors you just put down, this could potentially ruin your rig.
It could, yeah. I mean, to me, I would not purchase it. You know, again, we didn't purchase it this time. It came with the bus, but I would not, after the experience and everything that we've had with it, I would not purchase it with my own money. I would not recommend it for anyone. Like, regardless of your situation, that's just my opinion.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
Again, it's also a heater too. I don't think we mentioned that part of it, but it can't heat below a certain degree. Like, I think if it's below 40 outside or something,
we tried
it doesn't
using
work.
it during the snow because it was snowing and we were like, oh, instead of running our diesel heaters and going to get diesel, we can run this. But because it was so cold outside, it couldn't heat the air fast enough, so it was just blowing cold air.
Yeah.
So it kind of defeated the purpose of well, if it's
having it, you know,
if it's 65 outside
Then
or
why?
70, then I don't really need to run a heater because I can just use more blankets.
Yeah.
But if it's below 40, I'd like to be warm. This won't do what you need it to do. So it's a really tough item to recommend for me personally.
Or again, it's the same thing with the AC portion. We don't want AC at night. Personally, we would only use it during the day when it's really hot. Most of the time we are places where it's cooler at night.
Yeah.
So for us, it just defeats the purpose of having it. You know, it doesn't do its job correctly.
Yeah, it's interesting concept of a product that could potentially lead to new design options that are really great, but as the EcoFlow stands right now, it is just such a tough item to recommend. Again, if you have a really small rig, this thing is going to be in your way. It is bigger than both of our Anchor Solixes combined. If we put them next to each other, the EcoFlow is a little bit bigger than both of them, and it's not operating, it doesn't do anything other than what it does, which is kind of keeps your rig cool sometimes if it's not that hot out. If you're in direct sunlight, it is not going to keep your rig cold
The
at
only
all.
reason it's decent right now is because it's rainy and cloudy today. So
Yeah,
that's the only reason it's like okay, and even then it's not even drastically making a difference compared to a window unit or something different.
Right,
a mini split.
and we'd be
who knows?
fairly comfortable right now without it.
Yeah.
We would have a window cracked open and the vent fan open, and yeah, it wouldn't be cold in the bus, but it wouldn't be hot in the bus. So because for us, we're doing a lot of AC research and figuring things out and looking at this and looking at that, and we know a lot of other people out there are doing the same thing. And when you see portable air conditioner that you don't have to mount, that has a built-in battery bank, it's like too good to be true. At the end of the day, it is too good to be true, and it's not something that I could recommend someone spend their hard-earned money on, because like most people, a lot of people move to this lifestyle because of financials.
Yeah.
It's a lot less expensive to live, you know, on the road and on the move. But if you're planning on, you know, figuring out an air conditioning system, this is not something that, you know, I could recommend you spending your money on.
Yeah, definitely not at all.
No. But, you know, it is something we wanted to go over. It's something we've been thinking a lot about, like, would we recommend it? Would we not recommend it? And if you're in a situation where you're like, oh, it's so hot all the time, like, I need a way to cool my rig, this is not that way.
Yeah.
This is not the way to cool your rig. You would be way better off coming up with a ventilation system that just creates airflow in your rig, a window open, a max air fan. That 99% of the time is what we do. The only time we set this up is like if we're plugged into power and it's not that bad, because yesterday it was hot out. It was like,
Yeah, yesterday it was really bad in here. It was really hot and really humid. It was like 90% humidity and like 83 outside.
and we turned the EcoFlow off, opened our window and our fan, and would rather run that.
Yeah, we would rather have the fan and the window open than have the EcoFlow on, because it's, again, it just doesn't work how hot it is.
Yeah, and there's a lot of mixed reviews that I've seen out there on it being this great, awesome product, and oh, like we love it. And it's just like with extended use, we've been using it for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, on and off, obviously, it's not something that I could recommend.
No, definitely not something we would recommend or buy. Or,
No, I would not spend my own money on it.
No. Thank goodness. Well, technically we did. It still came with the bus. It
Yeah,
still
it came,
counts.
it
but
came with the rig, but you know,
yeah.
we didn't go spend money to buy specifically that. It was cool. We were like, cool, AC.
Oh, it's nice.
And
This will
then-
be cool.
yeah.
Because our bus, the AC doesn't work. So,
Of
you know.
course, it's an old bus. But yeah, not something we could recommend. Way too inconvenient, way too situational. There's just so many better options out there. Your windows are a better option. We're looking into doing like either a mini split or a window unit. We're trying to figure out what we want to do, which, you know, yes, it's going to pull a lot of power, but you guys get to see soon what we're replacing our power with. But yeah.
And we don't plan on running it for more than an hour or two at a time. You know?
Yeah.
That's the other thing. We're not running the AC all day and night. We're running the AC at the peak hot times during the day. You know?
Yeah,
and
just
then
keeping
that's
the
it.
bus at a comfortable temperature.
Exactly. Or if we need to run into the store or something and it's hot outside and we leave it on for the dogs, you know. But otherwise, we don't plan on running it for long periods of time. So, but
Yeah, that's
that's it for our EcoFlow review.
Yeah, that's our Delta review.
Don't buy it.
Yeah, not recommended. You know, unfortunate because you know, EcoFlow makes some great products.
Yeah,
I
was
like
gonna
their
say
app.
their battery banks and stuff. Oh yeah, and the app for this is pretty nice, right?
The app is super convenient. That is a plus. There are some pluses to it at night if you're a cold sleeper. If that's all you're worried about is being really cold at night and you don't care about during the day,
Yeah.
go for it.
If
you
you're
know,
working
spend
during the day
$600.
and you're not in your rig all day long, you know, and then you just need it at night. But again, if you're gonna do that, why wouldn't you spend $150 on a window unit?
Because you might not want to install a window unit.
Or you might not have the option to. That's correct.
Yeah,
So
it
you
is an
know.
option. There's a very small use case that could be for it. Us personally, we don't recommend it. Yeah,
Maybe they'll get better eventually.
hopefully they'll get better eventually. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen how far solar's come in the last few years, so there's a chance.
Yeah.
But
I think that's it for now. We'll see what the next video is.
yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
you.